There's a renewed interest, there's a renewed sense of urgency in the state around college access and success, and so we really saw that come to a head in 2021.
It's just a great example of how we leverage those public dollars for private dollars and vice versa. We've nurtured these relationships with these investors so they know that they're getting a really good bargain, a really good return on investment, to think about it in a business sense, by investing in MCAN.
We invested over $1 million in 2021, and that supported FAFSA completion efforts that were direct to students, but also to systems like high schools who were overtaxed and overtapped.
I'm really proud that during the pandemic, when so many organizations were having to reduce their efforts, we stepped out and expanded our efforts and placed advisors in new organizations and new schools to meet the needs of more students and families.
Not only as advisors are we the biggest advocates for our students, but we're also the biggest cheerleader for our students. So we have to not only help them, get the paperwork done, but we also just have to be there to listen to them, listen to their story.
We're really proud about the fact that we have been able to continue to be adaptable and flexible to both the campus and the student needs. So we've been able to, because of the way the Completion Corps program is set up, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. And so because of that, even though we are a new program, we're able to adjust, and the coach is able to adjust to meet the needs of the campus and the community to better support them as they're navigating new things as well.
We had to be pretty creative to serve students, I feel like, in that first year in 2021. MCAN and our colleges both helped us a lot with that, so.
In 2021, that's when I was hired on, and really we knew we wanted to fill in these gaps. So some of the populations that we had in mind, but obviously not exclusive of, were DACA, TPS, asylum pending, and special immigrant juveniles. So that's why My ECHO came to exist. My ECHO stands for the Michigan Equity, Courage, Hope, and Opportunity Scholarship. And it's really a scholarship program that was designed to basically fill in the gaps for the Futures for Frontliners and the Michigan Reconnect program. So while those two programs are great, we quickly realized that there was still some gaps of some students that were eligible due to their immigration status.
Thinking specifically about CBMI, we went into that year wanting it to be a game-changing year. Obviously, schools were struggling, like with COVID, and as we approached the fall, trying to think about how can we reinvigorate the counselors to make them feel good, to then be able to better support their students. Because we know if they aren't taking care of themselves, they aren't able to fully support the students to the best of their abilities.
One of our primary goals was to kick off our yearly Maritime Academy, in which we train our partners. We bring them all together in a retreat-like fashion to train our partners on collective impact. And we really wanted to make sure we provided an opportunity to get them back on track. But more importantly, it was a good time for people to talk about the struggles that they had over the past year and really build that community that we so often work to build within our local college access networks.
It gave room and rise for us all to think differently about our work. I think equity came further into the conversation than it had previously. I think accessibility was definitely lifted to the top of the conversation at a higher level than it was before. And I'm proud of the ability to reflect on what we had observed take place in the context of the pandemic and really start to shift that thinking and work together to move those things forward in that way.
And I always tell folks, until systems are broken for you, they're invisible to you, right? And one thing that happened during COVID was the broken systems became visible to almost every person. In every part of your life, everything wasn't working for you.
I'm really excited about the new strategic plan. It's got 5 priorities, but those 5 priorities are really internally serving. How do we become the better organization to be positioned to help us get to 60 by 30, which is just around the corner at this point. So rather than just being about traditional college access between high school and college, we're going to start thinking about college completion and student success and adult students, how we re-engage those folks. We can't get to 60 by 30 without talking about adults.
I'm proud to come out a stronger organization than we came in. We're coming out, maybe one of the few organizations coming out larger, staffing-wise, and I think our funding investment than we went in. And I think it's because we took risks, right? We took risks and we remained flexible and nimble, but made sure to take risks and make some actual decisions and be leaders on this work in education. And I think we've come out so much stronger and, like I said, bigger, and I think readier to sort of continue to define the new normal and move on this work.